How much radio can you stuff into a portable? And how small can you make it? Popular Science asked these two questions, and here are my answers. The first is plenty. The second is that with standard, easily available parts, you can boil it down to a 3-pound package, 3.5 by 5.5 by 6 inches. Smaller sets can be made, but they'll probably offer less radio. Here's a honey of a compromise between size and performance. It gives you a 4-tube superhet circuit, good loudspeaker volume, and enough sensitivity to pull in practically everything on the air. In tryouts, the signal-grabbing qualities of this midget put several table model radios to shame. It's a natural to take along to the ballpark, easier to carry than your best girl's handbag. Your favorite sports announcer can feed you the statistics of the game while you watch, and don't worry about having to tote extra batteries to keep the set alive. This model went through 2 ball games on the same single-cell A supply. So this is it, the 3-pound portable. The parts were from an RCA 54B series personal portable that the outer shells were broken, so I wasn't going to feel too bad about tearing the thing apart. Let me go on ahead and pull this out for you. There we go. Okay, chassis was hand cut. These IFs came from the 54B. I wanted to use the oval speaker, but at the time, I can't remember, I had some fit and finish issues. You can see how crowded everything is. In fact, you know what? I can probably go in just a little closer. Nope. Now bear with me, this is a new camera. The other one just broke. That's part of the reason also why you haven't seen anything. It decided to break. So this is a new one. This is from an Emerson. I believe this came from the RCA, this output transformer. Don't hold me to that, though. Volume control had to come from new old stock because there's no switch on a volume control for a personal set. It's a separate switch all its own, and I needed one for that. This, of course, came from the 54. But I did one thing. The 54 series that I had only one trimmer. I found out that the earlier ones had 2 trimmers. One for the oscillator, one for the antenna. And that's the one I wanted. Both antenna leads come out, and then back here, let me back that up. There we go. The antenna's back here. And it's not the RCA one. I think I happen to have a Garrett Portables antenna. And I went ahead and put it in. Antenna's connected by the hinges. And I figured I needed to clean all this up, so make it nice and neat. So I went ahead and put the main title and the schematic, cover the whole thing up so that way you don't see it, and also a little tube diagram. And basically tells 3-pound portable, or 3-pound radio, made originally by Albert Raleigh, September 1948, built by me, made June 2017. Cabinet, the cabinet is made by me. Originally, the article said you wanted to go to a dime store and get a wooden card file case that would have index cards. Well, I couldn't find one of those. So what I did is I'm working on another set whose cabinet is based on a Traveler 5019, and I wanted to find out how a 5019 was put together. I had a junk cabinet. You've probably seen it from a video a long time ago. It's the cabinet, you can't miss it, looks like hell. I should say looked like hell, because what I did, I took a rubber mallet to it to tear it apart so I could see where all the grooves and stuff were. I did that and realized, hell, I could do this on a table saw. So I measured up where all the grooves were, where the tongues were supposed to be, and I put that together. Now for this one, I did the same thing, except I made it to the specifications of what Albert Raleigh's article was. But I made it as a baby 5019, where the controls are here, the speaker is here with the grill cloth. And one other thing that's the nice definitive touch, his had a drawer pull, probably from hardware store or something like that. Did the same thing. Went to Lowe's, found one. Pretty nice, and it works out real well. Now, without further ado, I'm going to sit down. Don't pardon the neighbors, they're all yelling about some stupid shit. That's just life in the city anymore. I'm going to move that out of the way. And these knobs, they're take-aware knobs that were coming from another set. Dial is in kilohertz or kilocycles. Did it in the style of a Zenith square block, and then the Popular Science P&S straight from the original logo here. And then I did this whole thing in what's called IBI foil, which means you printed this whole thing out just on regular black carbon from a laser jet. Then you put this foil on top, run it through again, and this stuff sticks to the black carbon, and then you get a foil look to it. So, without further ado, let's turn the set on. And I will tell you this, opening up the back just a smidgen, not too much, will make it a little more sensitive. Now we'll go ahead and start it. I'm using Tony Marr's 67.5 volt battery, and it uses a C cell for the A supply. Not sure who that is. One other thing that's unique about this set, the chassis, I designed it under what I call Little Billy standards. Little Billy is a version of myself, 6 years old, with a sewing machine screwdriver in his hand. Anytime I build a product, the first question I say to myself, or ask myself, is, once this thing is designed, could Little Billy take this whole thing apart? The answer with this is yes, because this is designed like a Traveler. I'm going to show this here in the back. The Traveler has chassis mounts. They're two little wings that stick out, and they go into grooves into the cabinet. So if I wanted to, if I needed to get into this chassis real quick, all I need to do is just unsolder these solder blobs, and this whole thing will pull out chassis, speaker, and all. Little Billy approved. Now let's get back to where we were. Let me make that nicer. Okay. WLW should be showed up here. There it is. And just like anything else,
sponsored by RCA Records.
There we go. It is set, the little pointer, to 700. I made sure of that. That is 700 in Cincinnati. I'm in Indianapolis, so this is doing very well. It's got reasonable sensitivity. I've only got a 1S4 in this set, not a 3S4, but it does pretty good. That is the Hispanic station, midpoint through the dial. Let me see who this is. I don't know, but it's definitely not here in Indianapolis, and it's starting to fade away on me. Okay, see if I can bring them in. Just got to adjust a little bit here and there. That's also a long distance station. Here we go. Does more better for does more better. It does better on local stations. It's not a DX Hound by any stretch, but the fact that it works, and it's something I built myself using parts that technically would have been off the shelf. It's the only way you can do it. Okay, that's 1070.
The Bucs started 2 rookies in their preseason opener. They are not likely to do that once the regular season
This is
starts.
1260.
So we'll see how it plays out.
That's a
Only 4
blowtorch in this
preseason
community.
Games, it would stand to reason that they're a little bit more.
Between he and Prince, I don't know which one is.
Not sure which station that is.
I love both of their styles of play.
Excitement, there's a lot of pent-up energy. Well, the Blues will try to spoil the party for the defending
St. Louis.
champion Penguins. We head to PPG Paints Arena now.
So that is KMOX, but I don't remember what their frequency is. But that's coming in.
Chris, thank you very much.
Another one. Only thing I don't like is because I have this little knob, it's kind of hard to tune. And these stations, when you get towards the end of the dial, get really crammed up. But if you can barely hear, there's stations far and away. Unfortunately, I've got it cranked up, so that's as far as I can go.
The Colts is a bad thing for Jacoby Brissett, but so it goes. But I just, this team...
Actually, that first station that was loud, I think that was 1070. This should be 1260.
I know that he got the praise from Al Michaels.
Yes, it is.
Hall of Fame running back. If he does get in...
Now, go further away. 1310 should be here somewhere. That might be it.
3.875%. APR 4.0.
Not sure. But, like I said, stations near and far away come in just fine. And that's it. That's as far as I can get
To
on
manage
here.
the roster during the preseason, this is the Bankers Life Radio Network.
So, here it is. Cabinet was built about 2013. Because I wanted to see what it would look like. By the way, the covering on this, Joann Fabric. It's paper for scrapbooking. So it has an ostrich skin color and texture. Cabinet was made in 2013, and I finally got a burr up my rear end while working on Swamp Thing and said, I want one of these. The rest of this was built in May and June of 2017 and adjusted in about July. This is Albert Rowley's 3-pound portable from Popular Science, September 1948. And it is easier to carry than a girl's handbag. If you're wondering why I say that, it's like, how would I know? I do have a wife, and her handbag could probably kill if thrown at 50 paces. This is lighter.